of Sustain Brussels, EEN, Claire. I would like to welcome you to our first human-centric AI matchmaking event. And backgrounds from entrepreneurs to research institutions, innovators and others. So welcome, of course. For today's matchmaking event, the mission is to provide a platform for synergies to unfold, ideas to flourish, and collaborations to root in research and development, and beyond, of course. So today is not just about networking, it's all about sparking conversations that could lead to innovation and growth, online and on-site. So to start the day, I would welcome you to take 1 minute and introduce yourself to the person to your left. So that they can give you a short introduction of the different organizations that are here today.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yeah, better this way. So my name is Benjamin. I work at Brussels. We support companies here in Brussels, and we're part of the Enterprise Europe Network, and we're very happy to organize this today. So I just want to say a quick word on the agenda. So we'll start with a very interesting keynote, as you can see on the human-centric AI. Then we'll have some B2B meetings at 2. So if you have B2B meetings, you're invited to go at the end of the hall to have those meetings. If you don't, you can network and discuss with the others. It's always interesting. Then we'll have several information sessions. The first one will be on EU tendering with a colleague of mine, and with also a testimony from a SME, a successful SME, so it's going to be interesting to get his insight. And we'll do the same for the session on EU funding for research and innovation. So that will be at 4, and then we'll finish the info session with the sustainable digitalization, which is a very interesting topic as well, at 4:30. We'll have some B2B meeting after, and an AD meeting for the ADs. And the most important, what I really want to highlight today is that this is really the visible part of the iceberg. We have lots of people online. We have more than 300 participants online doing B2B meetings at the very moment, if they are not watching us. So please have a look on the platform and try to do this matchmaking, because there are lots of people from 40 countries, and it's been lots of effort to promote the event in all those countries, especially thanks to the Enterprise Europe Network, which are really making this connection between businesses and research centers. So that's it for me. I'll leave the floor to Ludwig, I think. Thank you very much, and have a fruitful event.
Thanks, Benjamin. I'm Ludwig. I work at Series. It's a collective center. We help companies to adopt innovative technology into their process, products and business models. And I'm project coordinator for the European Digital Innovation Hub, Sustain Brussels. And you have 150 European digital innovation hubs across Europe. We're one of them. And they all offer the same types of services. It's called Test Before Invest, testing technology before starting to invest resources, time and money in it. upskilling, skills and training to help them to learn how to use technology. Also support to find investments. Once you have the technology, you have to scale. That costs, how you find money, support in that direction. And also you cannot master all the technologies available out there. So there is also, you need a good network, innovation, networking and ecosystem, not only regional, but also internationally. And this is one of the events in that framework. So we help SMEs from their idea about using technology towards the realization and through all the steps in there. And we can guide them thanks to the support of the Brussels region and the support of Europe for free to get them started in all those tracks. So we're here to help you, to get you connected, and I'm wishing you a very good event this afternoon. Now I pass the word, I think, to Hans for his introduction.
Thank you, Ludwig. My name is Hans de Kark. I'm co-directing FARI, AI for the Common Good Institute, that is also located here in Bicentral in Brussels. We are partnering together with Ceres, with Ivoria, with Bicentral, and also with support of Hub Brussels in the Sustain.Brussels European Digital Innovation Hub. Besides that, I'm also the chair of the Brussels CLAIRE office, and it is thanks to the CLAIRE network, the collaboration of AI laboratories in Europe, that we are able to connect with other European digital innovation hubs across Europe that have AI as one of the core technologies that they want to bring to the ecosystem of companies, public administrations that want to do AI innovation or AI-based innovation. Now, because this is the first event, I also want to say that at the time that we proposed the European Digital Innovation Hub, we reached out to the CLAIRE network, and we were immediately contacted by other initiative takers for other European digital innovation hubs that thought it was a really great idea to connect, thanks to the CLAIRE network, with expertise in Europe on AI and to make that available. And when we were thinking of this first matchmaking event, we were thinking of, okay, maybe it would be a good idea to present to the to companies, to people who are interested in AI innovation, how that in the, let's say, European policy making, how that such a network or networks of AI competences could benefit. And I'm very happy to announce that we have here today Emanuele Girardi. She's president of ADRA, and ADRA is the Association on Data, Robotics and AI. And it's really, let's say, the network of the networks organizations in Europe, and is an important let's say, partner to the European Commission to define the future innovation programs on AI, data and robotics. So I'm very, very happy that you could make it here. Emanuele, and please be here. I'm going to switch places, so voila. And the idea of this first quite informal, let's say, start of the day is that, first of all, I want to give you the opportunity, of course, Emanuele, to introduce yourself to the audience and maybe explain a bit more what ADRA is about, and yeah, what can be beneficial for a company in Europe to know or to become part of ADRA.
Sure. Thank you, Hans. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for having me here. It's really an honor. So, I'm the president of ADRA. ADRA is the AI, Data and Robotics Association. ADRA was founded about almost 3 years ago to become the private partner of the European Commission on the new PPP, the Private-Public Partnership on AI, Data and Robotics. So before there was a PPP on data and a PPP on robotics, and then the Commission decided, at that time I think it was quite a bold decision, to bring together the 3 communities, European communities of AI, data and robotics, to found them, to merge them, and to create a single community. So the startup phase was quite difficult because they are very difficult communities, especially because the data and mostly even the robotics community were quite established communities, while the AI community was not new because it's not a new technology, but was rising up in the last 5-6 years. And so they brought them together and they were like, okay, let's together be very ambitious and let's build together the European ecosystem on AI, data and robotics. So really at the convergence of the three technologies. So we signed with the Commission 2.5 years ago a memorandum of understanding, and we committed to invest together, both the Commission on one side and the private side on the other side, 2.6 billion euro in the development and the uptake of AI, data and robotics in Europe. And the goals of ADA are very ambitious, because the first very high level goal is to sort of create European sovereignty over AI, data and robotics, which I don't really like the word sovereignty, but I mean, it's something what it's needed, a sort of independence for Europe on AI, data and robotics. Then the second goal, which is also very ambitious, is to establish a leadership over these technologies, not only on the technologies themselves, but with a very high socio-economic and environmental impact. So this is really the European vision. And then the last one is to reinforce the European competitive position over AI, data and robotics. This is very difficult, and this is really, what it means then to bring, like it was explained very well in the introduction today, to work with companies, especially with SMEs, and to bring these technologies into the society, and then companies, and then to the citizens at the last. So I think that this is really the mission of ADRA. Try on one hand to make sure that Europe, everybody knows that Europe is lagging a little bit today, especially when it comes to AI, especially we all know when it comes to generative AI today, we're kind of lagging because we're missing several things. But I think that what we need to do, not only is try to go back and lead again, the development of these technologies, but then, and what this could really be the role probably of the European Innovation Hub, the Digital European Innovation Hub, is really to make sure that then the technologies, once they're developed, they're really going to market. And this is what we're not so good in Europe at the moment, because we're really lacking in this part. And I think that we really need to push up in this, because otherwise, we will lose competitiveness, around the world, especially when it comes to AI.
Thank you. Maybe also on the, because of course we know each other for several years, and knowing that you also have your experience also as an entrepreneur, maybe from a personal experience, having a company in Italy, for example, looking at the past and now, collaborating with academia, for example, with other innovation players, would you say that the landscape already changed also in Italy thanks to the European innovation programs to facilitate that?
If Europe is lagging, Italy unfortunately is lagging even more, I have to say, especially when it comes to the technology. But yes, it changed, because it's, we started developing this Digital Innovation Hub, and we have some excellence in Italy as well, because if you think, for instance, about the Data Valley, the Italian Data Valley is very well known, and I think it's an excellence in Europe. And then we also have, for instance, some high-performance computing like Leonardo, that is one of the best of the world and the best in Europe. So we have some excellences as well. When it comes to the SMEs, especially because I started up an SME, a small company, now it's growing, it is very difficult. First of all, because SME, they don't understand how they can use AI. So that's the first thing. And this is why I think in Digital Innovation Hub, it's really working. This is really the role. To show companies what they could do with AI. Because I see we're also doing some consulting, and I see that the company are coming and they're asking us, I want to use AI, I want to run an AI project. And they were like, what is your need? What are you doing? How can AI improve your business, or improve your goals, or improve your productivity? And this is the first step. Really, teaching them, and this is, I think, the education part, teaching them, what you can do in your business with these new technologies, AI, data, robotics, and how you can improve your business. So not to run an AI project by itself, but really to improve the business. This is the first thing, and I think that this then working together with universities, with research center, you can really be at the frontier of the innovation, And together, especially SMEs, it's more difficult, but with big companies, you can really develop together new things. And also in this sort of multidisciplinary approach. So you have on one side the AI expert, maybe the one that are working in university or as a researcher, and then on the other side you have the use cases that you can really develop together and find new solutions with new technologies. And I think that this can happen only in this innovation environment, because otherwise it's very difficult, especially for SMEs, to get in touch with people who could develop a new solution using new technologies for their problems.
Thanks. One of the objectives, of course, of European Digital Innovation Hub, and that's precisely why we are here as well, is to also make expertise, technology expertise, innovation expertise accessible throughout Europe, across regions. Do you have already examples from past experiences of networks like Claire in making such AI expertise, which is indeed relatively new, let's say, to companies? Are there already examples of initiatives that make actually AI expertise available across Europe? Are there already some initiatives from the past?
Yes. So Claire, I didn't mention it before. Claire is one of the founding association of ADRA. The ADRA was founded by these 5 associations. One is BDVA, coming from the data community. Another one is Eurobotics, coming from the robotics community. And then you have 3 associations from AI, and one is Claire. Then you have Ellis, and the third one is URI. So you really see that all the different communities are represented. And the other thing of ADRA, I think that it's very relevant, is that it's representing all the stakeholders. So you have the research, the industry, and within the industry we have large company, SMEs, and startup. This is very important to balance all the interests, because when you build up an ecosystem, you really need to bring all the different interests and to make sure that they are very well balanced. So Claire, one of the founding association of ADRA, developed, I think, very good programs really in creating these contacts between, on one side, the research, so the university and academy, and industry on the other side. And what they did is that they developed this program for young researchers. It's called Rising Research Network, and it's sort of creating a network of the best European young researchers in AI, in all of AI, all the different fields of AI. And they're really trying to put them in contact with companies. So Claire also developed this industry network, really to create, like we're doing today, this matchmaking. To create this matchmaking on one hand, to show the industry what you can do already today with AI, and then AI developed in Europe, which is also very important because it's the transports human-centric AI vision. And on the other end, the company, they are bringing use cases again, and so they can really make the researcher working on specific case. So for instance, just to give you an idea, a few years ago with Hans, when the COVID started, and unfortunately 4 years ago actually now, more or less now, we were like, okay, we were all sitting at home, and in Italy it started a couple of months before. So I was like, let's do something, let's learn. I mean, we have these amazing communities of researchers, in Claire, expert scientists in AI. Let's try to do something. So we created this task force. It was 150 scientists and experts in AI. And we divided them in all the different fields, in 7 groups. And at the end, we brought together people from different disciplines, from biology, from data analysis, from infodemic, robotics, and so on. And we put them together to find solutions that then we provided to governments or to health, to hospitals, doctors, and so on. And I think that this is a very good example, because also the vertical in that case was the vertical of health. I mean, we were trying to put together people with different expertise, but they could work together to find solutions, to provide concrete solution and pragmatic solution.
Yeah, thanks. And I think it's a nice, let's say, link to the next question actually I had, because when we talk as the thematic of today and the human-centric AI, what do you think is important for a company to know? What is behind this, let's say, very generic or buzzword like human-centric AI, and how is it different for Europe than, for example, from America or from a more global point of view?
So today, especially when it comes to human-centric AI, so the idea of not replacing human beings, but augmenting the capabilities of people. And I think that it was discussed, this week it's discussed in Davos, a lot of this topic, especially when it comes to potential job losses, or better, the impact that AI would have on the jobs. And I think that this is really the topic. The human-centric approach is not replacing people, but of course there will be a sort of, percentage of all of our jobs that will be, automatized some way. But I think that it's not it's the right approach. That's not the right approach. The right approach is really thinking how it can improve the jobs, the activities that we are doing on a daily basis, because all of our jobs can be, are already improved, especially with generative AI, but they can be improved even further. So this is the difference. And this, I think, we were discussing this morning about the European vision, the Transports vision. I think that the core of the human-centric approach is really the trust. So we should really invest in creating a sort of very high-level trust. People should trust these technologies. Now there is these very negative narratives about AI. It's changing a little bit, but most of the people, they still think about AI. They will steal my job, and now they were thinking, so we will have election now. Okay, there will be lots of problem in the election in Europe and globally because of disinformation that could be created by AI. But the point is that it's not AI. This is what we should tell them. AI is the technology. It's the use that you can do with AI. So it is very important to regulate the government, the technology. So probably today, I was reading before, we will have the final version of the AI Act. In the next 2 weeks, we will have a final approval. So that's a starting point to regulate AI. It is very difficult to regulate something that is so fast developing, because I think that by the time the AI Act will fully be employed and used in Europe, there will be something completely different in 2 years' time. So it is very difficult. But we need to define a sort of guardrails, and I think that the most difficult part, and probably we are not so good in Europe at that point, I think, is to find the right balance, because you need to regulate on one side, and apparently we are very good in that, but you also need to innovate. And in the innovation, I think that, and this is also one of the challenges that ADRA is facing, it is very difficult to innovate, because to innovate you need resources first of all, and we don't have enough resources because we're investing much less than US, China, or UK even. We're investing very little in AI at the moment. So I think that we really need to change also the pace of investment in AI for the next years.
You mentioned before in the beginning that when you were explaining what ADRA was about, that indeed people have a general idea of that Europe is lagging behind, and that of course these innovation programs are supporting that and are trying to already catch up. Now, one of the things that we in Europe were, let's say, traditionally good at, and still are very good at, is in robotics. And we have specifically, I think, also in Italy and in Germany, we have and in Czech, for example, we have good not only research but companies, infrastructure, and so on. Is there, for AI innovation, is there something to learn from that, from the expertise there that we can actually bring forward?
Yes, I think that especially when it comes to robotics, robotics we are very good. We are like second in the world at the moment. So what we need to do is that we need to make sure that we keep that competitive position that we have. And if we don't invest enough, we will lose that position as well. So I think that what they did is that they invested in the right moment. So they were really bold in investing, and this is what we should do now. So if I think about, for instance, the convergence of AI, data and robotics, today what we think we should do is really to invest in bringing trustworthy generative AI into intelligent robotic system. And this is really, there is already a proposal from Eurobotics Sinclair, and ADRA is also supporting it. It's called the Moonshot proposal, because we think that we should really invest, but really invest a lot, because what we are investing today, it's not enough. And to do something like this, you need several things. You need, first of all, you need data. It's true that we're working in the European data space, but we need to do it faster at the moment, because we don't have enough data to train the AI algorithms today, so we need more data available. Then we need the infrastructure, so we have the Euro HPC program, the joint undertaking, so we're investing in high performance computer, but they're not enough. Also because, they were designed to support research, not to support startup. And now we have the problem that the startup, they cannot access to high performance computing resources. Then you need money, so we don't have enough money because the venture capital in Europe is not even comparable to the one in the States. Just, to give you an idea, the biggest investment, okay, now you have Mistral that got, a good funding, but they found it in the US because it was, they had to go to the Silicon Valley to get money, to get the financing. But if you think about, for instance, Aleph Alpha, they got, $500 million, but $500 million is lots of money for a startup today in Europe. But if you think about how much OpenAI got, 13 billion by Microsoft, it's really two different level of, you cannot compare. And so this is really, I think, a problem for the European ecosystem on generative AI today. And the last part is talents, AI talents, so we don't have enough. So we need to find a way to educate more AI talents in Europe, and then to attract more AI talents. So we were discussing this morning, and we think that probably to develop a program, something like a European visa for AI talent. Not only French or German or Belgium, but a European one. That could be also something that we could promote, maybe. Through Fari, Claire, and Abra.
I have to look at the time, and because of the fact that the matchmakings meetings will start at 2 o'clock sharp. One last question, and now to bring back the vision back to reality and to the day-to-day business of most of the people here in the room. When it comes to indeed digital transformation of an SME, and an SME that actually wants to indeed experiment and try to see what indeed AI can mean for its business, knowing that there are still a lot of SMEs in Europe, and Europe really thrives on the SME ecosystem. What should be the focus of any European innovation hub in Europe, according to you, when a company approaches European Digital Innovation Hub and wants to start with AI?
Oh, it's a difficult question. I don't know if I have just one answer. I think that the first thing really is that there isn't a standard solution that works for everybody when it comes to AI, especially also AI, data robotics, but AI. So really to understand that you need to customize it. So the first thing is really to understand the need of the company, and then try to develop a customized solution. Because if I think about the big tech, usually they come with a solution they get out of the shell, but this is not working for AI. Also because if I think about the training of the algorithm, then you need to train it on your data, on the company data. So this is probably the understanding and the educational part, especially of the management of the SME. That's the first part, because you need first to engage the management of the company and to make them understand what they could do with AI, how they could use AI for, and then you can start developing it. And then the last advice that I could give is to start with a very small pilot project, because you cannot start with a big project, but really start with a small project, and then you show to the rest of the company what you can do to trust the technology and to trust the results and so on, and then you can start bringing the AI culture into the company, I think.
Okay, thank you very much, Emanuela, and I would like to thank you for being here. It was really a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
I think I can say that the matchmaking events that will take place is actually just down the hall. There is a big room with the kitchen with long tables. There the numbers are placed, so if you have individual one-on-one meetings scheduled, you can actually go there. And I will be around, and then I will also be around. If you have further questions, you are free to contact me after this session. Okay? Good luck networking. Bye-bye.
Maybe one minute without imposing myself. I invited my partner for Africa, Dr. Nzabuga, late minute. He's here. He didn't register. With any one of you interested to be involved in Africa, your man is here. Thank you very much.
So I'm in time, man.
Yeah, yeah. This person came to me and she can't access our meetings because she doesn't remember like the email she signed up with and stuff. But it's for tomorrow. But
Okay.
just should I send
Can
you
you send it to me?
Yeah. So